we would like to present a green infrastructure vision for Norwood High Street in two parts. The first relating to the High Street, which we see as a threshold to the Great Northwood, and the second relating to the wider business area, also known as the Kiba, which we see as an urban commons for Norwood. Green infrastructure is the use of soft landscape in the urban environment, which helps to address the effects of climate change. One greened acre is a really clear example from Philadelphia, but other cities around the world and boroughs across London are also implementing ambitious green infrastructure strategies to transform their built environments. We often refer to GI's triple bottom line to highlight its benefits, not just environmentally, but also economically and socially. It's about making our cities more livable and resilient for the future. But what do we find across Norwood's High Street and business area at the moment? It's a bare and inhospitable environment. We estimate it's more than 95% grey and less than 5% green. The High Street has a vacancy rate of over 20%, with 55% of the frontages no longer commercial. These are really challenging figures. However, the area has great capacity for change and could be totally different. The huge site area of 10 hectares offers enormous resource potential, with extensive underutilised ground and roof areas which could be transformed by reducing grey and increasing green to achieve a better balance, by greening streets, yards and roofs. We think the future is in the more joined up use and reuse of resources in our cities. The green and circular economy offers great examples of community projects like The Plant in Chicago and Global Generation here in London at King's Cross and Canada Water. These organisations work with school children and the community to deliver green and other life skills in collaboration with local businesses. What's special about West Norwood is its close link between the High Street and the business area. The High Street offers shop fronts to showcase the exciting businesses behind in possible circular relationship with other businesses. For example, these images show some of the uses of recycled coffee grounds as biomass and plant growing medium. Lambeth Council has declared a climate emergency, one of the first in London to do so, committing to be carbon neutral by 2030. There's no time to waste. Key policy targets across their green infrastructure strategy, biodiversity action plan and local plan, supported by the Mayor's Healthy Streets, could be addressed through West Norwood. We know that joined up approaches can work from our High Street renewal work at Sidcup. We worked on a design and identity guide, delivered public realm and shopfront improvements alongside an extensive business support and development programme, which reduced vacancies from 17% to 3% and increased footfall and business turnovers. We're also delivering environmental improvements through the business improvement districts at Borough High Street, including this living wall, which is supplied by rainwater from the building roof. And we're working at Rainham at the strategic industrial land as well. So we see Norwood High Street in a green infrastructure context as part of a network of interconnected public realm and green spaces through the valley of the Old River Effra, from Norwood Park down towards Brockwell Park. The site was also formerly Lambeth Common, part of the Great Northwood, en route to Norwood to the south. Closer into West Norwood itself and the Greentown planned priority areas, we see the railway and also the one-way road system, the grey infrastructure, as affecting the experience of the area. Whereas Knight's Hill flows effortlessly over the railway into Norwood Road, the High Street is more severed from the rest of West Norwood, accessed through the railway bridge at Auckland Hill. This seems like an obvious place on the High Street to mark the approach to the business area and an opportunity to define a distinctive identity for both across their shared public realm. We see the High Street as a threshold to the Great Northwood. The High Street could be transformed with a strategy framed by green infrastructure, reduced road widths, increased pedestrian priority at junctions and with widened footways, made hospitable for people, with increased street trees, pocket parks, parklets, and sustainable drainage solutions. Activation can happen in a wide number of ways, from short-term, meanwhile uses to test the opportunities, through to longer-term, more integrated change, finding ways to make the city more livable. And this approach can be extended out across the wider business area, where all buildings and spaces through their current underdevelopment represent unrealized potential and opportunity. Here at the top is Brooklyn Grange in New York, a rooftop urban farm which is used for community events like weddings, for example. The Norwood site is a giant patchwork of resources and urban commons on the land of the old Lambeth Common. There are lots of precedents for the adaptive reuse of industrial business areas responding to climate change imperatives, with depaving of impermeable hard surfaces making space for more environmental and soft improvements. And these environments, supported by the right enabling planning policies, can encourage and attract diverse new businesses and uses. Here are examples of reappropriated industrial sheds and yards, as well as new mixed-use building typologies. So to finish, we think the power of Norwood High Street lies in its unique and extraordinary potential to become somewhere truly distinctive, not just in Lambeth, but also in London, a joined up green and circular community, resilient to meet the changes and the challenges of the future. Thank you.